people actually like China a lot. But then there are many misunderstandings also, and it is not so easy to tackle this. So I have the impression that the influence of mass media is something that is difficult to handle here, because they focus on just some topics, usually political ones, and not so much about what is actually happening in the culture, in the country. And I think this is something that we should try to change together. I think it's very important that people understand how life is working and how culture influences this life there. So what I think is very important is that there are translations of basic Chinese works into Western languages, and that one makes it possible to make people understand here what Chinese culture is actually about, what people like in that country, what they dislike. You can do that by reading Chinese novels, for example. But on the other hand, I also know how difficult it is. I just taught a class on Hong The Dream of the Red Chamber, last semester, and I talked to a colleague of mine who is also has been to China quite often, but he is not a sinologist. And one of his Chinese friends recommended that book to him and said, this is what you have to know in order to understand China. He also is a professor. He read the first 1 or 2 chapters and he said, this is totally boring. This is something I don't understand. And so that is something we have to work on, because I, as a sinologist, know what is interesting in this book. I do understand it, and it's tremendous fun to read it. But other people don't. In Germany can't understand what is going on in such a novel, because all the habits described in it are so different. And that is something we should somehow try to explain. This is the task actually of sinologists, in my opinion, to explain what Chinese culture is about and why they find these things interesting.